When I walk through a jam, no one knows who I am. Put your head on my chest, and I'm Mr. Success.
Good morning. You are listening to the Inevitable Radio Show and Mr. Success. Old Blue Eyes. Love that song. I hope you are creating great success in your life. You're listening to the Inevitable Radio Show. I'm your host, William Sumner. It is the beginning of a new year. It is a time when we should be celebrating and reflecting and giving thanks and gratitude for 2008. I hope all of you had a chance in your holiday period. But as you wrap down your holiday schedule, to be thinking, feeling, pondering, reflecting. 2008. What an incredible year it was for you. And I would almost draw down a line down the center of a page of a piece of paper. And on the left-hand side, I would write down all the things that I liked about last year. You know, things that happened with my family, things that happened for me personally, things that were great in my career, things that were awesome financially, physically, spiritually. Write down on the left-hand side of that page everything that you liked about last year and reflect on that. What I really want to do today is we are going to begin working on how to create an incredible new year. What does that look like? What are the strategic recipe cards? And recipe cards are those magical recipes, those powerful recipes, or those unresourceful, less powerful, not as incredible recipe cards that we were handed down in our families of origin that really began our lives. And we practice creating reality. We create reality on a daily basis, whether life is good to us, whether life is bad and challenging and presenting some headwinds into our little journeys. We practice creating reality, particularly at the very fundamental core level. And core is a very critical word. Core is a very critical word because at our core, we are very much like the programs that our parents ran. Now, it doesn't always filter through and look the same because we might be, depending on your age, if you were a child of the 60s, your parents might have run core programs that were developed in the Depression and World War II. Well, in the 60s, your filters were Vietnam, or maybe you are younger than that, and your parents were children in the 60s or 70s. Perhaps your mom is a feminist. Perhaps your father came of age as a protester. But the core program that each mother and father ran as a child, by osmosis, we will run those core programs too. Our children today, young children today, though they may be acting out the core program through a virtual world of texting and Facebook pages, and it looks different and it sometimes feels different and it acts different, when you get at the core program of why somebody does what they do, you'll discover those are recipes. I am a master at helping people drill down on their core programs, drill down on their life to really get at the core of why do I do what I do? Why is my reality the way it is? Why am I above average? Why do I have above average results? Why am I below average? Why does my life have a lot of pain and challenge when I think I'm a good person? Why do I always have bad luck? See, most people think that the way reality happens to them is based on this world that's out there happening, marching on, and they have no control over that world. And they do the best they can to react to it. That, my friends, is a recipe card. Because you do not have to react to a world. You can create that world. That world can happen exactly as you choose it and command it. Today is a day that we are going to work diligently and amazingly on creating a new year so that it will be the exact year that you want it to be. So we began with a sheet of paper that on one half of it was all the things about last year that you loved, that you liked, that was good, great, phenomenal. On the right-hand side of the paper, and this is also equally critical, that we're very honest and very real and very powerful about this, because we're going to have to work on both sides of the paper to create an incredible new year for ourselves. I need you to write down on the right-hand side of the paper everything that you hated about last year, couldn't stand it, don't want it back again, will not allow it, will not interact with it, will not choose it. It was challenging. It was painful. It was awful. And you are determined that none of that will repeat itself this year. Even if at this point in time, even if at this stage of a new year creation, you have no clue how that's going to work or how that's going to happen, write it down. If you just allow those things to proceed in your life, whether you record it as bad luck, well, it was bad luck I got laid off, it was bad luck that an illness happened, or it was bad luck, or it was just, the wind's blowing, or I was just, a victim. Whatever it is that you do not want, that you hated, that you found challenging, that was terrible about last year, write that down on the right-hand side of the paper.
Thank you for listening to the Inevitable Podcast. Please visit our website for more information on this extraordinary coaching system at www.theinevitableyou.com. Then, sign up for your 2-week free trial of our membership to gain access to hundreds of hours of amazing content and tools just like this. Now, back to Bill.
Mary, welcome to the program.
Hi, I have a question. I procrastinate a lot. I put things off a lot, and I work my tail off because I do a painting company. And can you tell me one of the reasons why I do that?
Mary, that is an incredibly great question, and it's a very common question, by the way. A lot of people will record that they are procrastinators. But what I'm going to tell you is going to shift and change your life if you choose it, because there's something really interesting about procrastination as a tool. Do you believe today that procrastination is a good or a bad tool for you?
Well, sometimes, like when I found out my sister-in-law was dying, I called her once, and 6 months later I haven't called her back, and things like that. Well, I know that's one of the reasons I don't call her very much, but other things I put off. And I was just wondering, I think it's a bad thing because I would like to get out there and make a little bit more money and do a little bit more instead of putting things off so much.
So this is a great question. When people procrastinate, particularly on things that they want, they really want, they say, I really want to turn my projects in on work on time. I've lost money. I've lost promotions. I've lost relationships because I'm a procrastinator. I always ask this question, and I'll ask it of you. Mary, are you a good procrastinator? I mean, do you do a procrastination really well?
Yeah, I do. I put things off a lot.
A powerful procrastinator, you can procrastinate on anything.
Yeah, I would rather not put things off.
So, Mary, you almost rise to the level of a professional procrastinator, one of the best procrastinators on the planet, correct?
Yes, probably.
Okay, so here's the cool news. You do not want to get rid of procrastination. You do not want to get rid of this tool, because when you use procrastination for your benefit, you're going to find something really incredible begins to happen. So here's how it works. You procrastinate on reaching for a donut because, hey, you can put off anything, and if you're not reaching for a donut and you're hungry, I guess you're going to have to eat carrots and something good, correct?
No, I'll take the donut.
Well, see, you just said you can procrastinate on anything. So you change the object and the focus of your procrastination. So you procrastinate on turning on the TV when you're tired at home, because when you don't turn on the TV, because that's the number one reason why people say they don't go to the gym, is because they watch TV. So if you procrastinate on doing the things that you don't want in your life, See, most people use procrastination as a tool to procrastinate on the things that they say that they want. So they want X, or they want Y, or they want Z, and they procrastinate on it. Well, if you procrastinate on the opposite, so when you are procrastinating on the things that you want, you are doing things that you say you really don't want, correct?
Yes.
Just flip that procrastination tool. Procrastinate on everything that you don't want. So on one side of the paper, write down all the things you don't want in your life. On the other side of the paper, write down all the things that you do. Now, the neural recipe card that you have been using in the past is you've procrastinated on everything that you said you want. But when you procrastinate on everything on the left-hand side of that piece of paper, all the things that you don't want, guess what you never get in your life?
What?
The things you don't want.
Yeah.
They never happen because you're a powerful procrastinator, which means you now get to do and have and choose and be all the things that you do want.
Thank you for listening to the Inevitable Podcast. Please visit our website for more information on this extraordinary coaching system at www.theinevitableyou.com. Then, sign up for your 2-week free trial of our membership to gain access to hundreds of hours of amazing content and tools just like this.